Hey everybody, it's Angel from Halo Inspirations. We give you inspirations to help you spread beauty and joy through your quilting journey. I've been dying to say this for a week. I'm so excited right now. Do you know I am so excited? What happens every week? It is Wednesday. So yes, happy hump day. Happy hump day to each and every one of you. Happy Wednesday to you. I hope I am finding you in a fantabulous place and just excited, and you know, it's Wednesday, guys. It's hump day. Everything to be excited about. And today is day 8 of the 12 days of quilting. Yeah, so I got a little excited. Let me calm down. I get so excited about hump day. Okay, so today's quilting adventure is using the method of stencils. Yes, I know it. We all love stencils. So, well, a lot of us do. I've been finding a lot of you have been out and doing a little shopping and getting excited about trying some stenciling. And I'm telling you guys, it is so well worth it. At least in my mind, right? I mean, we each have our own preferences. Some of us just love to free motion. Some of us just love to walk foot. Some of us just love ruler work. And then you have people like me who just love quilting. So whatever it is, I hope you're doing it and having a great time doing it. And I'm hoping you'll find a little bit of inspiration. I think this stencil can go across free motion and stenciling. You don't need a stencil to do it. I decided to change one of the motifs that I was doing with the stencil because I am trying to keep this beginner friendly. So saying that, I will say I've never quilted this one. This wasn't the original one I was thinking, but I ended up loving it. I love it so much. I'm going to use it. Now, what are we doing? We are using this Darling Hearts. Now there's some teaching stuff in here again. I can see it just from here, but there it is a little, I don't even know what to call it. Well, I will tell you what the name of it is, which is so super awesome. The name of this stencil is I Love It. I don't know how many times y'all have ever heard me say that. That is like one of my staple sayings. I love it. That's the name of this stencil, and it is designed by Ann Bright, and of course it is a full line stencil. It comes like this in the mail whenever you order one. Super love this. So, oh look, I did it again. Super love, I love it. And I had to use pink. I had to go there. Now the back of it's yellow. Okay. But I had to use pink, and I like it so much. Now, because this was my first time, I'm going to do it again, hopefully before this afternoon's video, just because I like the flow, and I think my tension is still a little bit off, so I'm going to do it again. Well, I know it is. I can see that it's still a little off. Learning a new machine, and I'm starting to figure it out, and I talk about that later in the video, what is actually going on with my tension. However, yeah, so with just like every video that we have done, what do you need? Machine gloves. This is a pop quiz. Machine gloves, a needle, a machine, a quilting sandwich, thread, your stencil, and if you're using full line, you'll need a pounce pad, right? Those are the things that you're going to need. All those items are down below that you can find, what you can find in our shop, and what things, of course, I don't have sewing machines. Oh, and you need your free motion foot, right? Almost forgot the free motion foot. And I use a sew slip. My goodness, there's a lot. I've actually recorded this like 3 times because I've been so excited. I can't remember what I say. I'm really excited because today's hump day. So, those are the things that you're going to need for if you're doing this particular stencil. You'll need I Love It, designed by Ann Bright. And for full line stencils, you'll need that with your powder and your pounce. But I think I've talked enough. I know y'all really do enjoy getting started on the video, because I can talk all day to you guys. Yes, I'll just stop here. I will see you closer up in just a minute. Okay, I brought you in for this one. because I'm just going to give you a little bit more about stencils. So one of the things I like to do when I get a stencil is I like to trace it to figure out exactly how to keep this continuous. Okay, so I can understand when I sit down to the sewing machine kind of which direction I'm going to be going, so that I don't break any threads, unless of course my thread breaks or I run out of a bobbin, right? Just a very simple, very simple tracing. That way I have a plan. The other thing that I wanted to share with you, I did talk about these crosshairs, these target looking circles on each end. And it's very nice, by the way, because, let me make sure you can still see it. Nope, you sure can't. Let me go the other way. Pull this way. I'm going to line it up right along the edge, so I have space to do this. Okay. I'm going to give myself a little pounce. Hopefully I don't do too much this time. And we're going to go ahead and pounce this out. Now remember, the only time you pounce is to actually fill the pad. You don't want to pounce on, you want to swipe on. Now if you just notice, I did flip the pad, and I did that because I know that I have some over there, because I don't put equal pressure. It's just about who I am. And when you do this, you do want to make sure you get those, whoop, we don't need that crosshair, but you'd want to make sure you get those crosshairs. Okay, I'm going to pull this off. Hopefully I didn't move too much. Okay, now this is a little bit weak over there, but it's okay. I can still see it. And when you go to pounce it again, now remember, you don't want to pounce too much because it will go away. But what you're going to do is you're going to line up your crosshairs. And actually, I'm going to flip it around. I'll tell you why. This is where this one started. This is where it ends, or vice versa. I want some tail ends to work with. So I'm going to line it up as such. I could go as far as flipping it. Oh, nope, that won't work. Well, you could, because then your ends you could get close to meeting them, but it would be a point, and I wouldn't want a point. So I'm just going to leave it like it is. And you would just basically line up those crosshairs. Okay. That's pretty close. It isn't perfect, but I don't need it perfect. I'll just do my own little heart or something. I can also pounce out a heart if I wanted to. Okay, I'm going to put some more chalk on here. Make sure you can see some. Yep, you can see some of that. And I'm just going to do a quick, now like I said, I would not do too much. Okay, and I'm just showing this for an example. And you would pounce out the rest of it whenever you go to do that. I'm just doing this for demonstration. Oh, I lined it up perfect. Now you'll see there's an area over here. So I have an option. I can do myself a heart and come back and connect. I could do myself coming on out. If I was over here, I could do myself a heart and coming on back. I could pounce a heart out here if I really felt like I needed a guide, or I can just do a loop. Okay. Don't have to make it complicated. Isn't that cute? I just love it. Don't have to make it complicated, but I wanted to show you how that goes. So I am going to now take this to the sewing machine. I am going to start on one of these ends on this one, since this whole thing's pounced out, and we'll go from there. I'll see you guys in just a sec. Okay, I got to thinking, and maybe I'll show this on the next video. If you really want these lines right here to connect at the end, you would want to line up your fabric side by side long ways, and line up those crosshairs that you see long ways and then these lines will connect. You'll have those starting point places connecting. So I would put the first original on the edge of your fabric where you want to start, and then at the end you'll have a place where it stops. That is where you'll line up the next one to go. So I'm going to go ahead and get this started. Maybe when I get to the end I'll talk about that again, and then maybe next week I'll remember to put a little something in there on showing exactly what I mean. So as usual, first thing we're going to do is I'm just going to find a place to start. It's a practice sandwich. We don't have to get crazy. Now I will say I think I figured out part of my tension. Yes, it's a new machine, so yes, I am learning it, but I'm also using different battings. So on the last one I used Dream Angel on the last stencil, I think. Yes. And on this one I'm using the, what's it called? Dream Bamboo. Both of them are from Quilter's Dream. And I'm just testing them out because I've never used them before, and I thought what a great opportunity to do that. So then because they're different and they're not the cotton that I'm used to, I think my machine is telling me, hey, this is a little different. What you gonna do about it? Now I have not tested the tension on this because it's a practice sandwich. That's what this is all about. Usually I do, but I wanted to see what this is all about, and I just thought I'd take you along with me. Okay, so I pulled my bobbin thread up. I will bury those later, and I am going to, again, I have my free motion foot loaded. I am going to keep that working space as best as I can, and I'm going to push the fabric. We are going to be tracing this beautiful fun motif. Whoop, see, my stitch regulator is getting a little crazy on me, so I'm going to lower it down. We'll see how that works. Remember, that's what this practice is all about. You can make as many mistakes as you need to, and you don't have to stress. Now, one of the things I wanted to mention, whenever you're repositioning, I'm always looking for places that I would, in fact, stop the machine and switch. Now I did it in here to mess with my stitch regulator. I think my tension's okay. But throughout the rest of the quilt, I'm going to try and stop at those points where they come together because it's okay there, right? I won't be in the middle of a line where it looks a little funny. So we're going to go ahead and get going here. Checking that tension. It looks a little funny. Okay. Yeah, I'm not liking it. I'm going to go ahead and bump it up to my normal. Whoop, let me go ahead and lift my presser foot and do that again. The reason I lift my presser foot when I adjust my tension is simply because when your tension discs are engaged, it may not set correctly. So you do want to lift your presser foot to release the tension on the top part of your machine. So we're going to keep on going. Okay, again, I stopped here. And again, I can stop at this little dip in the hearts also, right? It's another good place to stop. This is a darling motif. I'm going to go ahead and keep on going. Now remember, whenever you're doing stencils, you do not have to stay on the line. The line's going to go away, guys. It's going to be all right. So don't let yourself stress over that. It will be fine. But I'm going to speed up the video here. If there's something I think about in between, I'll let you know. I want to show you, I did do this on purpose. If you saw, I did not stop and I did a little bit of walking. What ends up happening is your stitches will become irregular and you might get a little jiggy jaggy. Okay, so it is real important that you do allow, that's what happens when you walk and you get too far away and outside of your box. Now, you'll see I've got a little bit extra before the end here, over here. So at this point, it could be very well that you laid, if you had your quilt, now notice I also went backwards, right? Because I've got more bulk under here. I should have started closer over here and let it move itself out. It's just a lot more pleasant of a quilting experience as this gets smaller over here. But this would be a good time if I had an entire quilt out here. It would be a good time to lay down another template. I'm stopped in the middle here. Lay down another template, line up the crosshair right here. I don't know if you can see that, but I can see it. And the line will connect up here, okay? When you line this up, the one that starts will connect with the one that ends. So that's another way to do this. I'm going to go ahead and finish this up and then I'm going to see you in just a second. Okay, so here she is done. Here's that where I walked. You can totally see it. But there's one other thing that I wanted to share with you guys. So of course at this point, you're just going to simply iron it off. And I'm sorry about all the lighting. This is a weird room. I'm still working that out. I'll get it eventually, but by then I'll probably be moved again. So you're just going to simply go ahead and iron this off, okay? But what I wanted to show you guys, I'll work on this off camera before we come back. But I'm going to go ahead and do some of this that was down below. Okay. I wanted to show you that there is zero residue on my iron from taking this off. And I just thought it's another bonus. You don't have to worry about going from one thing to the next. It doesn't leave anything on there. But, and you remember, okay, so here's where I walked. Remember I said the stitches got longer and then shorter. You can totally see that. So you want to try and not do that. But, and you know, there's some imperfections, but guess what, guys? I'm not perfect. I'm human. And inside a quilt, this is super darling. So I'll be right back at you in just a sec. Now, wasn't that fun? I'm telling you guys, I love it. I love this thing. I absolutely love this motif. I love it, Ann Bright. You did a fantabulous job. Now, a couple of things. This makes a really fast overall motif for an entire quilt. I can also see doing it in certain blocks. You know, if you've got, I don't even know, if maybe you're, I mean, an overall for a baby quilt would be super darling. Of course, Valentine's Day, right? But in certain blocks even, like you could make it smaller. You don't have to use the full stencil, right? I've talked about that. You can just pounce part of that stencil. And so inside of a block would be really cute. If you're really okay with stencils and putting a little freeness to it and enjoying the creativity side of it, you can also, you could put it in a border and you could just pounce half of it or whatever will fit. You know, whatever you can get in there, you could just pounce part of it and just allow some freedom. Now that's, I know for some of you that's a stretch right now, but in due time, you will, if you start stenciling or free motion quilting and you really get familiar with your machine and the free motion side of the world, you'll find yourself adding a little of what you want in it, a little of you in your quilting, okay? And there ain't nothing wrong with that at all. That is fantabulous. So I thought inside of a border, it might even be just one line of it, one little line of hearts with the lines in between, the meander sort of in between. Yeah, there's so much you can do with this, and it can be used on a free motion foot. It can be used on a long arm also. I did talk about that in the prior stenciling, how to get that done. So in the playlist so far we've had, this is number 8. So there are 8 different methods. No, 8 different motifs, 4 different methods. So that means each method has 2 motifs. And we're about to start the last set of all the motifs in each different method. Boy, that sounds really confusing. But if you're interested in other quilting methods and other motifs, up here, maybe, I'll put might be over here. I'm not sure which way it is. I'm going to make sure I link the playlist. I did that yesterday. I'm going to do it again. And that way, and if you're on the television, you can't see this description box anyway. So you can go to the channel and under playlist, you'll see quilting motifs. All 8 are in there. Every time I add a new one, I add it into that playlist for you so you can revert back. And each first one, I've given something about it. Just a little element of teaching into it just to give you a good head start. Now, that is, I love it. I just have to keep saying it. On hump day, I mean, couldn't get any better than this, guys. Tomorrow, I will be here again at 11 a.m. And it is back to the walking foot. I had to think about it. Sorry about that. And this one's just it's still beginner friendly. I promise you. It's just a little bump from what I've done. And that way it gives you a little bit more. And next year I do plan on doing this again, and I'll keep building on it. So you can always start back at the beginning and you can continuously build. And that way we get a lot more inspiration and a lot more stuff when it comes to quilting, right? So that's tomorrow, be day 9, walking foot, with a new motif in the walking foot at 11 a.m. my time, Eastern Daylight Time here in the United States. And I will be today, just like every other day, I'm on Facebook Live at 3 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time. My time again, there on Facebook Live. We call it live Q&A, live quilting and answers. And the only other thing I wanted to add, I know, most people say, hey, don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell. I think y'all hear that enough. I'll interject it every now and again. But you know what I want to say today? For all of you who have been around and have been allowing the opportunity to build our connection, because that's what we do as quilters. We build connections with each other while we're spreading beauty and joy in our world. I want to say thank you. I want to say thank you so much for all your support with our small business and our quilt shop, our small quilt shop online. That is also continuously growing because we do have you who are supportive. And I cannot tell you from all of the Halo team, thank you. Seriously. And for those of you who are new, I welcome you. I welcome you to the Halo family, the YouTube side of the family. Welcome you here, and we appreciate it, and I'd love to get to know you. Absolutely would. And you can always email us. The email is down below, but it's Stauffer. No, is it Stauffer? You can email me at angel@Halo Inspired. Just make sure you spell angel correctly. It's ANGEL. You can always email me there. You can come on over to Facebook and you can Facebook message me through the Halo business page, or you can come right on inside of the Creative Kingdom private Facebook group. There's a bunch of lovely peeps in there. And we have one gentleman. Absolutely think that is so cool. And at any rate, we'd love to have you in there, but we can get to know each other even better. So I just wanted to talk about that for just a minute because I don't have a lot when I get the real opportunity to do that, right? I forced the opportunity this time because I want you to know how appreciative of all of you that we truly are. So at any rate, I got to stop talking, right? I know you, I could sit here. It'd be better when I'm live. Eventually I will be live on YouTube and we can just chit chat for a while. And I would be glad to do that and set aside time for that. But until next time, truly, may you all continue to be inspired, productive, and joyful. Never stop believing and never stop making your dreams in quilting come true. I love y'all, each and every one of you. You're now Halo Cherubs, and we appreciate every single one of you. Thank you again. Happy quilting to you. Happy hump day. See y'all tomorrow. Love ya.